Ever had Chinese string eggplant? Me either, so I just had to try it. Please come along and share the experience with me as we will grow, cook, taste, and review. Okay, before we jump into the growing, let's go over what Chinese string eggplants actually require for a good and successful growing season. Okay, first off, you plant them just 1/4 of an inch deep if you're going to direct sow them, or if you're going to start those in cells, or like myself, I started them in a greenhouse very early, and I saved my toilet paper tubes, put them in Miracle Grow potting soil, and they did fabulous for me. They absolutely need full sun. Don't skimp on the sun. And they will sprout for you in about 10 to 15 days. And this seems like it took forever for me to see anything come up. And when I did, it was really a teensy tiny little start. But you gotta have patience here. That's part of gardening as well, learning patience. Okay, 18-inch plant spacing. As you'll see on the video, I have this in a container, so I can move it around freely if I need to. And when things around it started to grow and it didn't have enough airflow, I moved it around. Water requirements, 1 inch per week or 2 inch if you have very hot weeks. Since I had these in a container and I didn't have a lot of soil in that container, and it was a black container on concrete, I had to water this every single day. It's part of the nightshade family. The deep purple has antioxidant value. And you do want to plant this in well-draining soil with about 1 inch of rotted manure. So let me go back to the water for just a minute. I probably shouldn't say every day. There were days that it would rain, there were cloudy days. But on average, almost every day I was going out there to water this. After I got into it, I thought I really should have put a big layer of shredded paper on the bottom, which doesn't prevent the water from coming out, but it does help to sort of act like a sponge. And if I would have put more bark, that acts like a sponge, much like hugelkultur. And that really would have helped out my watering. All right, guys, now let's jump into the video, and we are going to start after I've already transplanted that into the container, and we've got a little bit of growth on it. May 27th, and look at how this little eggplant of ours is coming along. It is June 12th. These Chinese string eggplants. This is June 22nd. Yesterday it was 97, 95. Today it's going to be about the same, and that is the second time so far this season we've had that extreme heat, and they seem to really love it. There you go. There's one of our blooms, and the other one is right back here. Oh, look. Looks like a third one might develop here. Excellent. Excellent. I love how eggplants have that dark purple going through the stem and the veining. And then, of course, that's an indication of what the outside skin is going to look like for us. June 24th, and we are out here looking at this eggplant. And we can see we have got lots of blooms on here. Not to worry, these self-pollinate just like tomatoes, which are also in the nightshade family, as the eggplant is, along with our peppers and potatoes. Look at that. That's going to be fantastic. I have got 3 stems down here, therefore I have 3 plants. When I started these, I put some of that Miracle Grow soil in there, and that's going to feed us up to 3 months. So they are heavy feeders, so that should last me for the entire growing season for this. They are annuals. They don't normally come back. I guess if you baby them in maybe a better zone, they could come back for you. But I don't know, they're so pretty, aren't they? Okay, other plants that are in the nightshade family are tomatoes and peppers and potatoes, which are all good companion planting together. They are self-pollinating. They pollinate like a tomato. So with this or a tomato, they're all contained within the same flower. All they really need is a little breeze. If you're antsy about it when they flower like this, just tap them. That's it. And then that pollen will come down into the flower and you're done. Could not be any easier. If you want to, it is not necessary because a light little breeze is gonna do it for you anyway. It's June 26th and I am out here looking at this Chinese string eggplant that is self-pollinating, and I have counted 15 blooms that I can see. I'm sure there's probably going to be more in these little curled up ones, so I have not counted that yet. Look at here, look at these little tiny, look at that. So I am super excited, and since these are self-pollinating, I'm assuming I'm going to get close to all of them. Let's see if anything's going up here. See, look at that. All right, and what about here? Oh, so great. Okay, very pleased so far. July 1st, and we can start to see a lot of other flowering is taking place here with our Chinese strings. And this is the oldest one. Oh, hang on. Let's look at this bloom real quick. Is that not gorgeous? Can you see that? They've got a little thorn on there. See that right at the top? So be careful with that. I was trying to get under here and see if I could see. Yeah, okay, there we go. We're gonna have some plant development right there. Apparently they start baby white, which means over here are these flowers. Yep, that's a little bit of a flower. That feels different. Yeah, that's papery feeling. July 2nd. I think I just filmed yesterday, but look at this tip coming out, and that is definitely hard. So our plant is going to start off a little bit whitish, variegated, and apparently it starts white and starts to purple up as it protrudes, and that is fantastic. Let's see if I can find any more real quick. Since it rained yesterday, everything just loves it. Let's see about this one here. Not yet. All right, you guys, I'm excited about these. July 3rd. Look at how loaded this plant is with purple flowers, which are gonna be these lovely eggplant. And look at how that is developing. I'm loving it so far. Most definitely. And we've got more coming up that do not have the little flowers on them quite yet, but they seem to be ever flowering, and let's hope that that's the way that it continues. It is July 6th. We're looking at this Chinese string eggplant, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at how this one's twisted up here. It almost looks like a bear claw or something. This one's getting huge. And look at the other side here. And these two back here. Got a little bit of spikiness. See right there. See that? Spikiness. Spikiness on this side too. Thorn, I should say. So velvety. July 16th. And I think it's time that I can actually cut this eggplant. I haven't decided if I want to make a stir fry or if I want to make some pasta, because I also have a zucchini in the back with a little, you know, pasta primavera, or if I just want to skillet fry it and see how sweet it truly is, because it claims to be sweet. That zucchini in the back also claims to have sweet flavor. And you can see I'm starting to get more, so let me go ahead and try and keep up with this plant. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this. And I'm gonna cut this probably about right there. I'm gonna do that off camera because I'm not really gonna make it crash and bruise it. All right, you guys, I have got it cut and in the house. And this is probably about 10 inches long here. Of course, the top of that isn't going to be usable. I'm going to have to cut that off, probably about right here. That's okay. It does feel nice and spongy, but spongy like an eggplant should feel. It doesn't feel too soft, it doesn't feel too hard. It feels just right, just right. And there's the part of that variegation that you can see when it starts to grow. Check out my Etsy shop, T-Shirt Garden Company, featuring gardening, No Mow May, sewing, tiny house, Zen meditation designs. Link in box below. All right, you guys, here we go. Here is our little zucchini cut up. Not zucchini, eggplant. I got zucchini up here, so I'm doing both at one time. And that is about the size that I've cut it, so you can see it's not very thick. I've already tasted them. It has a nice, good, sweet flavor already. So I am excited. Here is our eggplant cooked up with just a little bit of olive oil, more butter than anything. And it's sweet. I like it. I even like the skins on it. That's how much it made. That was the whole entire eggplant cooked down. That's it. I've also paired it with the zucchini that I'm growing this year, which is new to me. I've got a little bit of butter and herb rice, some chicken fingers. I've got these General Lee cucumbers that I'm also growing, and the Hilda Romano green beans that are also in the garden. Okay. You can see I've added some grass mulch around here, and that has really helped to keep the moisture in here. Because remember, it's on a black pot, it's on concrete, we're in the middle of summer, it's going to zap all of that out of there. All of that moisture. Look at how gorgeous this is. These were so excellent. I kind of can't wait to eat more of these. Hey guys, July 27th. And can you see this one? It's kind of a little bit leaning here. And that is from all the weight of these gorgeous, delicious, sweet eggplant. 30th of July. And I think I am gonna cut about 3 of these because the groundhog is back around, and you can see I have some pepper here, so They'll kind of stay off all of the plants and won't eat my leaves, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna snatch these up, and I am gonna get them washed up, chilled up, and I'll do something with them tomorrow. All right, you guys, there is our harvest. And I've got a lot of the weight off of this plant now. I just left the one. I think it can do a little bit better for us. All right, you guys, so I've got some more eggplant. I've got 5 of them. And they're probably, I would say, 6 inches long. Not quite that by the time you take the tips off. But I'm gonna chop these up, and I'm gonna see how many cups we can get out of 5 of these medium size, I would say, Chinese eggplant. See the ones that are a little bit faded out next to the ones that are like vibrantly purple? These are the older ones, the ones that I was keeping on the plant in order to have more of a amount or a mess that I could actually cook at the same time. And you can feel that these are a little bit harder because they're a little bit older, basically. And you can see like the skin has a little bit of sun scald on it because of that fact. So be mindful of that. So if you want more, to where when you're cooking these, you don't have to cook 1 or 2. You can cook about 5. You probably need more than the 3 or the 4 plants that I have out there in order to coordinate a bigger mess of fried eggplant. About 3 cups. The thinner that you slice these, the more crispier they're going to fry up. However, I did cut some rather thicker pieces so that I could dig out the seeds. And I just put my seeds, scrape them along the side here. I fished them out with the tip of a knife. And if you can see some of them that looks whiter, those are ones that I probably cut through. So that's why I did thicker slices so that you can get a whole intact seed. And I'm just gonna leave them to dry out. And I usually leave them on my back counter. And I'll just place that on top of my seed packet so I know what's up. I still have some seeds in here, so I'm not too worried about it, but I always like to have more seeds than less seeds because you never really know what's going to happen or who you might want to give some to, or you could grow these one year and have a horrible harvest and now you have to buy your seeds again. They are delicious. I also tried some Pat Patty squash that I've never had. I just bought it at the farmer's market to see if I like it. And spoiler alert, love it. I'll harvest the seeds and you'll see this next year. I went ahead and I paired that with some mac and cheese and some chicken nuggets for my senior mommy who requested that. And she's got some eggplant and some nice squash in there, so she's doing good. You guys, so good. I don't think you can go wrong with this. All right, you guys, we're looking at the Baker's Creek catalog because this is where I got these gorgeous Chinese string eggplants. Look at that. And I'm telling you, look at the bundle here. Yeah, you don't get that off of one plant. You're going to need to plant more plants than I did in order to get this righteous little bundle here. Look at that. They popped some of the eggplant flowers in there for you. But this is a whole garden. This is a whole production they got going on over here. So they've got tons of these, unlike us backyard gardeners who plant a little of this, a little of that, especially when we're just experimenting. And this was an experiment for me. And oh my God, did it pass the test. I cannot believe how well I enjoyed these eggplants. I will absolutely be growing them again. So here we've got our best tasting eggplant. Yes, 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 I totally and completely agree. Our favorite eggplant is so long and skinny that the Chinese named it after a piece of string. This is the most slender, tender, and best tasting variety we have grown. I agree with all that. This marvelous eggplant is so sweet. It is even delicious raw in salads. That's true, I did try that piece raw. I don't know if I would put them in salads because that's not usually the way my salads flow. But you absolutely could. And this buttery, tender East China variety is our top choice for doing just that. Very high yielding plants produce profusions of 10 to 15 inch long fruits with a lavender violet skin and snowy white flesh, a superior choice for sauteing, grilling, and more. Fire up the wok and make the best pan of Chinese eggplant you have ever tasted. Eggplant has an ancient history from China where it is used for food and medicine. This is a masterpiece of thousands of years of eggplant selection from this amazing land. We grow these almost year-round in our greenhouses and outdoors in the warmer months. They are super quick to mature. We cook the new baby fruit whole, like green beans, only these are better. So you only get 15 seeds in this packet for $4. They are really easy to harvest though. They are slender, tender, and oh so sweet. And I love that they used a different font for this. And yes, all of that is absolutely, totally, and completely true. I love how they've staged all this. It's just gorgeous. If you don't have one of these catalogs, treat yourself. Which isn't much of a treat because they're free. If you just go online, they'll send you a catalog because they would love to sell you some seeds. I love how the back of this has everything on here for us. It is a little bit difficult if you wear reading glasses to see this outside. I have to go in the house and fetch my glasses. All right, you guys. This is absolutely wonderful. This was a pleasure for me to have grown this year. I absolutely loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Could wholeheartedly and honestly tell you you should try this one. I found it very easy to grow. I've never really had a problem growing eggplant. And starting these from seed, just as easy. August 2nd. And you see how it's getting that faded out look again? So they're not going to grow anymore. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to really cut all of the fruit off of here. I think I've got one or two over here. I'm going to cut some of these more yellowish leaves. It's supposed to be about 95 tomorrow. So I'm going to try and get this all fixed up before then. And you can see we got new ones coming in on this one. All right, also want to point out, be careful when you're trimming down here. Some of your lower leaves are also going to start producing some other little offshoots here. And you can see here's another limb right here that's got another one beginning. So be mindful of that when you're taking your leaves off. Obviously, if this is yellow, there's nothing attached to this, so we could easily trim this off if we needed to. So it's not like a tomato to when you're pruning things will come back down here and regrow that are of no use. This eggplant has got things developing here even after you've trimmed it. All right, August 10th. Look at how perfect and straight and teensy this little eggplant is. It's so cute. It's got that new supple feeling skin again. Same as right here. So we're starting to get replenished again on this side. So it's almost like they come in waves. And here's another one that will be developing soon. August 12th, and I'm noticing leaves are a lot more droopier, starting to yellow. They're starting to feel a little old. Hey guys, August 20th, and look at my next wave of these eggplants. I don't know what made this go curvy, because there is nothing to prevent it from going straight down. But that's okay. That's alright. So cute. They seem to be getting thinner. Now again, I left this one. This was older. I thought it was going to grow a little bit more. It didn't. When it starts turning this faded out lilac color or lavender color, it doesn't taste that good. You can still fry it up though. I severely pruned these because we were having all of this black spot going on in the tomatoes and in the melons from all of the high heat, humidity, and then days of rain. So they needed to get a nice little trim up. And it looks nice. It hasn't affected it at all. I think it's fantastic. It seems like it's kind of enjoyed that nice pruning. These other two plants, I don't know, seem to constantly be going and pumping. Look at this. Fantastic. I am super, super happy with this. Like I said, the one tweak that I would make is I would do more than 3 of these at the time so that you get a bigger harvest. If you're gonna go ahead and cook these, you want to cook more than what you get out of 3 of these strings, because once you cut something like this up, it's not gonna be a lot. So I would say double it and do 6 if you're cooking for 2 people. September 3rd, and look at how full this eggplant is here. My sister's coming by tomorrow. She's pretty excited about them, to try them, to get digging here. So I'm gonna cut the majority of them and give to her so she can enjoy them. And she started gardening, so we'll see if I can get her to maybe transition from greenhouse stuff to actually doing your own seeds. And I've got cells over here, but I started my own lettuce in those. So. Okay, does anybody else see this? This totally looks like little dragon profiles. Like, I want to say Dracaris when I see this. Is anybody else seeing that? All right, September 15th today, and can you notice what we no longer have on this Chinese string eggplant anymore? The blossoms. I have no more blossoms. I have a few more growing and developing. But that's about it, you guys. I don't see any more new growth to this. Just kind of disappointing. So I'm gonna let these continue to grow.
Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.